Televidente nan, felice noche y bonveni del nos programa Bonochi, Korsou. Feliz siman para vos nan tour. Nos está iniciar el siman aquí yendi positivismo, yendi optimismo. Nos está deseando que vos nan también lo espera, lo feruaco, el siman también lo vini. Asina. Un placer para permitirnos drenta de vos casa y ahora nos está iniciando el siman con un tema hobby positivo. Nos amigos de Curacao Airport Prtners, si nos una invitación a diferentes miembros de prensa para una cobertura de 3 edición de su Safety and Security Week. Un siman camina nanda para que riba importancia de seguridad y prevención de actividad aeroportuario. Na sala de PWFC a tuma lugar en conferencia AVE, camina diferentes representantes tanto de ICAO, que es una organización que reúne instancias de aeronáutica mundialmente, y también de FAA, que es la oficina de merca para asuntos de aviación, y los stakeholders local, todos están envolvidos, riba tereno de seguridad aeroportuaria, tatín duana, tatín brantuer, tanto de aeropuerto como los cuerpos de bomberos local, tatín diferente, otros representantes del sector de seguridad, y de alguna manera nos avisa el Deputy Director de ICAO también estaba ahí, señor Siu, y también señora Scott Borg, un Juditera, Judi Korsou, un Regional Officer de ICAO para lo que trata implementación de innovación riba terreno de seguridad. Pero lo que nos pasa para sala de PWFC, camina e conferencia a tuma lugar a mainta, ceremonia a comenzar con apertura de parte de presentador, de maestro de ceremonia, y la dona una indicación de lo que va a tener en el programa para hoy.
My name is Ikaima Fecundamatus, and I have been appointed to guide you today. I will do this to the best of my ability at the third safety and security. For those that has been with us knows that in the past, CAP used to have a safety week and a security week, but since 3 years ago, we merged these two events together to have one event filled of information, not only for CAP employees, but for our partners, stakeholders, and our relevant partners in the aviation. CAP, as a responsible aerodrome operator, know that these two conditions are very important for safety. That's the reason that sometime in the year, we take some time to go into depth in these topics, to exchange and to elevate our knowledge. For this morning, before we start, I would like to recognize the presence of our Minister of Economic Development, Mr. Luisando Sencha. Thank you for being with us. Also, I would like to thank our COO, our Chief Operation Officer, Mr. Michael Hubenberger, who this morning will also, thank you, who this morning is also representing our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Johnny Anderson, with this brought for a family appointment. This year, we have prepared for you an interesting program as usual, and to make it attractive, we reached out to the ICAO, and it was a pleasure when we received their commitment. And for today, I would like to thank from the ICAO North American, Central American, and Caribbean Office, ICAO NAC in Mexico, Mr. Julio Cesar Siu, who is the Deputy Director, who is together with us. We also would like to thank Mrs. Fabiana Todesco, Regional Officer, Aerodromes and Ground Aids, AGA. And it's special for us to welcome our own YDK, Judi Korsou, Serea Scottborg, who is also holding office as Regional Officer of Safety Implementation at ICAO NAC in Mexico. This team has joined together with Mr. Joseph Cools, Dr. Joseph Cools, who is the senior representative of Office and International Affairs of the FAA. So this year we have a lineup of great speakers who are willing to share their experience with us.
Well, el maestro de ceremonia hace su introducción y seguidamente COO, pasó CEO ta afo, manera señora explica, para motivo personal, director de Chief Executive Officer de aeropuerto ta afo y sun de que parte de operación a tuma su lugar para así na duna apertura na conferencia aquí.
Ladies and gentlemen, to start this morning, while we are waiting for the minister, I would like to call for Minister Cooper in this case. I would like to call forward our COO, Mr. Michael Huenberger, for his opening address.
Bon dia, bon dimanche. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have this opening speech here today for the third Curacao Airport Partners Safety and Security Week. Actually, half of my speech is already been said by Migema, the welcome to the minister and our guests again. Just arrived our Minister for Transport, Traffic and Urban Planning, Mr. Charles Cooper. Well, when you look into today's news and press, you may believe that the world becomes more unsecure, more unsafe. That may be true. But this is not the case for aviation. Because aviation is actually, in this respect, a success story. And this comes not for nothing. So, when you compare the figures of the last year relevant to the casualties in air traffic accidents and compare it to the 70s, you may not believe, but traffic in aviation and flying has become 60 times more safe than it used to be in the past. And this is a great achievement. It is a great achievement of not one person, it is an achievement for the whole community and all the stakeholders working in the aviation industry. This actually starts from the regulations. So Annex 17, which is about security, and Annex 19, which is about safety, they came quite late actually as an annex to the ICAO. But nevertheless, a lot of things have been done, and the figures I just mentioned are a result of this, of a stronger regulation. And this is cascaded down from ICAO, from the national regulators. We have a representative here today from FAA, but we also have representatives here today from Curacao Civil Aviation. It is very important because this regulatory framework is actually that one who keeps everything in place and makes sure that safety is continuously followed up. But there are other things that happen. So when you look in security and safety, it has to do with tragedies of accidents and with hijackings, whatever. But our industry has developed, and we have now globally a really good safety and security network. Everything has improved largely. And we, on our airport, we are working here as well very strongly on that. How do we do this? So we have set a program this year that we want to improve actually everything. This starting point is our airport certification. We are working hard on it, and you may know that in April, May next year, we have to go through a recertification. And we are preparing ourselves to this very much with the findings we had in the last audit to get them cleared off, to make sure that the work and the business at the airport is safe and secure. But there is more. We are working on the digitalization now of our airport emergency plan. And hopefully this will be delivered at the beginning of next year, that it is ready for the audit. We are working on a new emergency operations center. We will upgrade it technologically. We will upgrade it with new processes. We will review all our SOPs, standard operating procedures. We will also introduce a new call-out system. Currently, if we have something happening at the airport, it is at the old fashion, one is calling the next one, and this is cascaded down to the last one who is necessary in the process. But in the future, we will have one call-out for everyone who is relevant in a specific scenario at one time. Everyone gets the same information, and everyone can be helping to mitigate a potential problem immediately. We selected this place here, where we are today, by intention. Our airport is not providing currently a proper place where we can manage emergencies, reunifications of passengers with relatives. But this place is an ideal place. It is quite close to the airport. It has all the infrastructure, and we are engaging with the owners on this to make it work for us, that we can use it if there is a kind of accident. But there is more. We had recently a lot of trainings. There was the wildlife management training, and we also had an aircraft recovery training. This has not directly to do with safety and security, but it's managing if something happens for us. And we will have a second course in February, and we are prepared to keep our operations in a high performance and deliver high quality. Going back to these safety and security levels I mentioned, yes, we are in a much, much safer and secure environment operating. Everyone who is entering an aircraft can do this with a good feeling. It's not always, so it's much more safer, it's my gut feeling, than when compared to when you go on the on the roads. So there may still be, it's also regulated, but the industry has done a lot. In more than 30 years of my career, you may believe it or not, but I think some of you have also similar experiences. I have participated involuntarily in aircraft accidents. I was in an aircraft which was actually going off the runway because the runway was icy. It's a different environment, but each environment has its specific challenges. Maybe the one of you has also participated in an aborted takeoff. I did 2 times. Maybe some of you was in an aircraft flying with an aborted landing. So I was there with 3 times, and we ended in an alternate airport. What I want to say is, actually, despite the industry has developed quite good, there is always a remaining risk. And this is why we have this safety week. We want to keep up the level of attendance very high. We appreciate that we have these valuable high-ranking speakers with us who can bring their knowledge and their experience to us, where we can learn from it. And I hope that this is creating further awareness that we, from a day-to-day perspective, on a day-to-day, we are seeing that there may be risks on safety and security, and once we see them, that we close them in a way that it is not repeated in the future. And this is the most important learning of the aviation industry, because there's a message which says, whenever there is a problem, analyze the problem, look at the problem, close the problem, and don't repeat the problem. This is all for keeping our industry safe, and I'm happy to now give my words and the table here to Mr. Cooper for his introduction of the Safety Week to the audience. Thank you very much.
Well, ovviamente è un cutin di Aberco e parte di aviación, cuta minister Charles Cooper a tambe pronunciar su speech di apertura. Caminda e la pone énfasis, no se tende den speech di minister, algo que más importante, que en el área de seguridad tiene dos aspectos. El aspecto lo que nos llama condicionan inseguro y actonan inseguro. Turdos a conducir na accidente. Que men, si vos tengo un tráfico te quebra, si vos tengo un tráfico, tengo un pendiente y no tengo manera para esta una condición insegura y casi seguro la baiduna motivo para un accidente. Pero si vos tenés ture condiciones regladas, pero vos no tenés ejendenan con conciencia de seguridad, es ahora una actitud robés de una persona que viola normas y reglas de seguridad, también puede conducir a un accidente. Esta pesei, lo que no está buscando en el perfil nuevo aquí, en el ambiente de aviación, de aeronáutica, lo por introducir un conciencia de seguridad y seguridad tanto físico como seguridad para llamarle safety and security, que son dos cosas importantes y diferentes. Tanto esa aquí da parte de la filosofía que nos está introduciendo.
Esteemed guests, I extend my warmest welcome to our distinguished guests from abroad, in this case the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and of course JetBlue, and all guests, welcome here, welcome in Curacao, and welcome here everyone. It's an honor to have you all here today as we emphasize the pivotal significance of safety, security, and excellency in our nation aviation industry. I always, when I speak about this topic, because as my previous job in the refinery, I have learned long time back that to have an accident that can be two things. Either an insecure condition, so a condition which is not according to the standard, and that may cause an accident, or an act from one or more person that can lead to accident. So those are the two, let's say, things that can be there that you can have an accident. So when you're going to concentrate for not to have an accident, those are the two things that you have to take away. If there is an unsafe condition, then you have to work on to eliminate that unsafe condition. Or if it is people's, then you have to train people so that they cannot do an unsafe act that can cause accident. So in Curacao, we hold a deep understanding of the critical role aviation play in our country progress. Our island, massive in the air of the Caribbean, rely on aviation for the economic vitality, tourism. My colleague of economic affairs is here, and global connection. We are accurately aware that ensuring the safety and security of our skies is not just a responsibility, but it is a shared commitment that profoundly impact lives of our citizens and also from tourism. ICAO's globally recognized standards, FIA wealth of its expertise in aviation safety, and JetBlue dedication to exceptional service mirror the principle we hold there here in Curacao. Your presence here reaffirms our commitment to learn from the best, implementing international best practices, and ensuring that our nation aviation sector stands tall on the global stage. As the Minister of Traffic, Transportation and Urban Planning, I stand before you today to emphasize our unwavering dedication to this cause. We are not just aware, we are proactive advocates for the highest standard of safety and security in our aviation practices. We are eager to collaborate, learn, and implement innovative solutions that will safeguard the life of our people and our visitors. In our discussion today, let us reaffirm our shared commitment to create an aviation environment that is not only safe and secure, but also efficient as a world class. Let us explore collaborative opportunity, share value, insight, and chart a course of the future where Curacao aviation sector is synonymous with excellency, reflecting our unwavering commitment to the well-being and safe for all of us. Let me give you where we are since FIA are here and ICAO. I think it's a good opportunity to give where this government is at the moment. We came to government about 2.5 years ago, and the first thing we pushed through the parliament, which is a law that permits that we have, let's say, the passengers passing to the airport will pay a small amount, and that will be around 1.x million on a year basis, and that is especially for training for our civil aviation authorities professionals. So now they have a commitment from the government that they have also the money to be trained let's say, to have their highest standard trained so that they gave the service to the industry. That's one we did. Also, the Civil Aviation Authority just finalized all the main law that had to be changed, and about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, it came to our office, and then we are revising those laws so they can go through our main what do you call it? Vuelonan is our main. They call that in English, I think they call it the main department, the law department of the government. And after that, it will go to advice to the Raad van Advies, which is another advice entity, independent of the government, and then it will go to the parliament. So I think by the first half of next year, we will be in Parliament defending those laws so that the Parliament can say yes, I hope they say yes to those laws. So there we are also. Also, I have to give credit to my colleague here of Mayo Economy, because we together, we said this is important for Curacao, so we put together money so that we can hire about 15 more people in the Department of Curacao Civil Aviation. So then we will be quite maybe around 22 to 24. 27 is what we should have, but at least we are very close to that. And then those people have to be hired and trained. So that is why I'm saying that we are on the good track, and then I'm sure that we will be going back to category 1 in at least in the next 1 year to 1 year and a half. We can invite ICAO and FAA to come and supervise what we did and let them give us or not the category 1 back. So there you are, but today, once again, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests joining us. Together, let us work to a future where every flight taking off and landing in Curacao will be at the highest safety standard and security for all of the passengers. Thank you all, and have a good conference today.
Signor Minister també Ruisandro Seiche ha donat su parte, su speech també como representante del sector turismo, mirando que si un problema de seguridad, un problema de safety, está paralizando los aeropuertos, si no está trabaja debido con sensi y está surge un accidente que por paralizar la operación de un aeropuerto, obviamente no sector de turismo está consecuencia nefasto. Y pesei también Ministerio de Economía y en el caso aquí de Turismo a participar en presencia del señor Minister Senchi con un discurso para tur presente.
At this point, I would like to call forward our Minister of Economic Development, Mr. Lisandro Sencho, for his address.
Good morning, Morro, buen día to presente. With protocol already served, allow me to say a few words to my colleague here, Mr. Cooper. You know, you will see us a lot of time together, and they say we will work pianco a pianco with each other to rebuild the economy of this island. I don't know if you know what means pianco a pianco. Someone in the room know pianco? No, nobody. It's an Italian word. Hopefully I say it correct. But pianco means shoulder to shoulder. And saying that, I think all of us in this room have to work pianco a pianco with each other for reaching the goal to get to category 1 for the airport of Curacao. So I wish you all, to each one of you, a joyful morning. When it contemplates a globally renowned international airport, it's become very important or upholds guarantees safety and security. No partner in this aviation sector can function optimally, giving due regard to these fundamental principles. Both within the realm of aviation and tourism, we must encourage innovation and elevate our standard of safety and security. This proactive approach not only enables us to continue drawing strategic partners, but also attract tourists who play an important role in fortifying our economy. And it's no secret that tourism is now the most important pillar in our economy, and I am very grateful or very pleased and very proud to announce that this year, for the first time in the history of Curacao, we will reach more than 500,000 passengers on our island, stayover passengers. So, the passengers, the visitors, the first thing they will experience is when they reach Curacao is our airport. And safety and security is a major experience of all what they can experience on other islands. So therefore, I am very great. It's a very great pleasure in highlighting that CAP for the third consecutive year is dedicated a week to gather this with its innovation partner to analyze, evaluate, and gain new insight into these crucial matters. It is indeed a pleasure to note the It is a pleasure to know the evolution of this awareness week, as we have the honor of hosting a representative from ICAO that also includes a native from Curacao, Miss Sareya Satwa. I will give her a round of applause. I will say you make us all on the island very proud having you here. So thank you for all what you are doing for our island. Along with delegates from the FAA, Mr. Joseph Poulos, who are here to provide us with valuable information and expertise. Also, Mr. Miguel Mikey Figueroa, a representative of JetBlue Airlines, who will share his knowledge and experience with us. In my role as the Minister of Economic Development, I acknowledge CAP's dedication as an airport operator and their effort to keep enhancing the education and development of their employees. This approach not only builds up the competitiveness of the employees within the industry, but also benefits all partners. I extend my best wishes for your success during this week. Thank you all.
Pues ahora nos pasa para un break comercial después de atender el discurso interesante de señor Sánchez, con el cual nos conversar, ya que nos tiene una conversación breve con el ministro Sánchez, también con el ministro Cooper. Nos va a cumplir con algún anuncio y ya nos sabe.
Ate, a roupa tá sentir. Ba acostumbrar, lagi crunch abrir, por nada. Lagi luz acender, dia. Não laga mal costume tá bo pior inimigo. Ba lagi crunch abrir to, seré. Ba lagi luz acender to, pague. Assim na ti roupa cosmasco abo por assim, pa barra bo gasto de água e corrente. Assim é para bom mês, para nós tur e para nós futuro.
Será lá, será?
Sim, não sei se era.
Esta comitasse de Djaluna de doctor.
Ai, boss, cuide, não preocupa. Lá da minha tablita sabra também.
Já sabe? Tá, que me vou preco yanto.
Seguro que sim, entre 8h30 e 10h dia. Então nós está preco na casa também.
Você anda preco na casa, sabra?
Claro! E o serviço está grátis.
Ai, você tá pensando em lugar aqui, você. Ei, você se bom pô, chega lá do met.
Lá da meta chega a ser bom. Piu!
Nós continuamos com mais, abrindo esse siman de safety e security de Curacao Airport Prtners, nos aeropuerto Hato, e tudo é gente que tem a ver com o trahadonan que está tomando lugar para dentro e para fora do aeropuerto, que tem a ver com a aviação, para assim iniciar siman de conscientização, mas também de training, de aprendizagem, riba tereno de aviação para o que se trata safety e security, creando consenso com a implementação de método novo, consenso de seguridad riba cada trabalho que está tomando lugar. Não olvidar que nós está chegando a Bosnan, que na Lab de Med, Laboratório de Médicos, uma organização que está pone sempre a palavra confiabilidade su delante para dar serviço, además de confiável, também flexível, práctico y sumamente eficiente. Lab de Med, Laboratorio de Médicos, na nombre también de Bombini Supermarket. Praise and de locura, de manera siempre, pero además un servicio extraordinario para dar oportunidades, así compras de un dulce ambiente, ambiente de siempre, ambiente de casa, de familia, con bombinita ofrecemos, pero además producto fresco y de calidad. Frescura total. Bombinita sobra. Bombinita boca. La nombre también de San Bill con su calendario acaba para el luna de noviembre de preparación, no sigo acaba octubre promete, pero me queman que ya para noviembre tiene 1.000 cosas tomando lugar en la cocina creativo para el team de marketing de San Bill. Mientras tanto, nos está invitado para ese man que trove tener presente que ya razón de día de nos grandinan, tiene un vista arriba a Facebook para entere programación de día nan venidero para nos concluir octubre de mejor manera, abre paso para noviembre y un gisa quita Pascua trove y Pascua Tana San Bill, que man queda pendiente para no sin hope información na caminda San Bill, más que un centro comercial. Y la nombre también de Óptica Ana, que está dando un servicio increíblemente rápido, un costo, eficiencia tiende a ver con rapidez, con cual puedo servir y un rapidez eficiente. Que me rapidez que no está así copalo con rapidez, paso no está tralie, paso no está consciente de buena necesidad. Nos avisa na óptica Ana que gran mayoría de problemas nanta queda resolvido en óptica mes, para lo que te trata problemas de vista. Y nos un equipo profesional y un equipo logístico de tecnología más moderno mes, para dar un servicio así aquí, sumamente eficiente y sumamente rápido. Además, producto de calidad en cada montura, y nos personal sumamente entrenado para dar el mejor servicio allá en óptica Ana, en corazón de Salía, para vos mira la vida más bonita. Esa está elemental para nosotros, óptica Ana.
Boniteza. Mundo ta bonita. Wakrondipo y mira cosnan bonita. Of, así es cosnan aún más bonita. Abo ta bonita, así na bonita. Optic Ana, wak e diferencia.
De una manera nos avisa, nos conversaba con el ministro Cooper en su calidad de ministro de Tráfico y Comunicación para así darnos su impresión para lo que se trata de actividad a comenzar a Wemainta, pero que tiene validez para intersiman en el siman de Safety y Security.
Bom, é importante que o año den siman aqui completo nos dedicar como Korsou também a Safety and Security Week, que tem um siman de seguridad de aviação, no caso aqui, caminho que capta, organiza, e nós também como governo da parte dessa aqui. Então, parte bom de aqui está caminho com nanga 13 acerca na 13 entidades que está hobby importante para nós como Korsou, que está supervisar Korsou de sugestão de aviação. Então, aqui está ICAO e também FAA de Merca. Então, fora FAA de Merca, eu pergunto, antes que tenho bem auditoria de nós, ora que nós está claro, ora que nós visa que nós está claro, mas na minha auditoria e o aco por elevar nós da categoria 1B. Então, também de minha speech, a minha visa que nós está AWE, nós está no duro para chegar na categoria 1B. Então, essa aqui está dentro de 3 áreas que nós estamos trabalhando, que nós temos passador de parlamento, na canal na ruta acaba, nós temos de 2 que está equipar nos Civil Aviation Authority que é necessário, profissional necessário, que nós temos que chegar a mais ou menos 27, mas nós queremos chegar a 24, 23 desse aqui, então nós temos que treinar aqui também. Então, pesei, o parlamento passou lei mais ou menos 1 ano e meio passar, caminho com nós a passar lei que o tour pasahero que passa no aeropuerto paga fee de 3 e pico florim, 3 florim e pico, assim, essa aqui vai dar pote de forma entre 1 para 2 milhões para ano, assim, esse ano é somente para treinar nosso personal de Curacao Airport Authority. Essa é a parte que nós está fazendo e a nossa comissão lança siman de seguridad de aeropuerto, seguridad de aviação, assim, lo tem mais que speaker de interesse aqui, tem diferentes secções de trabalho também, assim, assim, viajamento, não somente mais seguro, mas mais placentero também.
Mas conosco nossa papia com o Ministro Cooper, nossa papia também com o Ministro Senche, que tem representação de parte de turismo, mirando com grande parte de nós turistas está dentro via de nosso aeroporto, lá que nós tende a entrevista com o Ministro Senche.
O evento abre ora nossa papia de safety and security de nosso aeroporto, muito importante. O sector é o pilar econômico mais forte, mais grande de Korsou, que é o turismo. Então, essa aqui significa também que safety tem rol dentro do que dentro do custo eigenlijk. Então, dentro do sector aqui também, para nós netamente também por kana vai back caminho nós que está back na categoria 1, então também é importante que o ICAO FAA para assim brinda aqui que está standards que nós temos que cumprir para nós para chegar em Ana. Pero para o qual que trata economia, nós vai quebrar recorde para promover biaha meio milhão stayover passengers que deriva nossa isla está crescendo nossa mesa mira agora aqui quanto vuelo mais 30 vuelos para siman fora de Europa. Esse na de América que está aumentando, fora de Brasil que está aumentando, ainda me tem mais anúncio para dona de conexão que vai vir novo riba outra ruta pois nós atraindo nós que chega 1 milhão de turistas para de 3 para 4 anos, aceita nosso gol, mas também é qualidade de turista que nós queremos. E turista aqui na comunidade também ganha mais benefício disso aqui. Pois, seguridade é hora um setor pilar econômico que está crescendo, então é importante para garantizar também a safety. Porque o turista chega, é a primeira experiência que está no aeroporto. Então, é mesmo possível que chega de environment que está duche, que está safe, que a menina se sentir bom. Então, é o aspecto também que vai topa para fora. Então, esse é muito importante, não somente para o turismo, é importante para nós mesmos, é importante também para o que vem assim negócio no país. Ora, para chegar de situação, environment, que a menina está safe, está seguro, pode sentir sempre na casa.
De maneira não sabia, a senhora Sereia Scott Borg, está de Korsou, que está oficial de posição mais importante de ICAO, e ela dá uma conferência sumamente importante para o que está a implementação de tecnologia novo, para o que está trata é filosofia de segurança e prevenção. Para a prevenção é uma coisa importante, mas agora que nós tratamos de security, nós reduzir risco de perda, nós está esse que está incrementar ganancia, pues, menos pérdida, más ganancia, y prevenir el problema operativo por surgir en el sector por motivo de una falta de seguridad. Pesei, la que nos tende introducción de señora Scott Borg, una juditera que está dando servicio de una organización más importante para lo que trata aviación.
Today, together with the ICAO team, the Deputy Director, Mr. Julio Siu, and my colleague, Fabiana Todesco, we are happy to be here to assist and give the presentations on behalf of ICAO and in helping Curacao moving forward. And hopefully the information will be beneficial to all, not only to the Civil Aviation Authority that will be here present as well, but also to the industry holders, which is important to get the message across that we need to work together in order to make huge advances. The first presentation of today is going to be the safety management, safety culture, information protection, which I'll be sharing with the Deputy Director of ICAO NAT, Mr. Julio Siu. So I'll start the presentation, and halfway during the presentation, I'll hand it over to Mr. Siu to continue with that part. The objective is to, for safety culture and its relationship with safety management, to give an understanding of the positive safety and the importance of safety information protection frameworks and reporting. Okay, let's talk about safety management. Safety management is concerning the effectiveness of a state safety management activities. It's strengthened when implemented in a formal and institutional way through the state safety program and through the safety management system, SMS, for its service providers. So the state safety program is the part that the Civil Aviation Authority will take care of, and the safety management system is the part that industry would have to comply with. A state safety program combined with SMS of its service provider systematically addresses safety risks, improves the safety performance of each server provider, and collectively improves the state safety performance. There are many benefits in implementing a safety management. Establishing a solid foundation is essential to achieving effective safety management implementation. The following aspects should be addressed as the first steps in implementing an SSB or SMS requirements. We're talking about senior management commitment. It is very, very important to have the senior management involved in all that it is we're doing. It is essential that they know what's going on, what the consequences will be, and what needs to be done. So an effective commitment of the senior management is also effective for the safety management implementation. The next step we have is compliance with the prescriptive requirements. The state should ensure that a mature safety oversight system is in place for the licensing, certification, authorization, and approval of individuals and organizations performing aviation activities in their state, including qualified technical personnel. And the same thing goes for the service providers. For the service providers as well, they should also ensure that they have processes in place and to ensure the continued compliance for the established prescriptive requirements. The second step we are addressing today is the part of the enforcement regime. The state should establish an enforcement policy and framework to enable parties to manage and resolve deviations to minor violations. What do we mean with that? It means that the state needs to have processes and procedures in place that when a violation is being committed, they know exactly what it is that we need to do, how we need to do it, and how to solve it. Yes? And of course, last but not least, it is essential to have safety information protection. What does this mean? It means that states put in place a protective legal framework to ensure the continued availability of the safety data and safety information. So whoever's reporting is also protected. The identity of the person reporting is protected so that we have a safe and secure system in place. It includes interfaces with the organization as well as interfaces with external organizations that contribute to the safe delivery of services. So when we're saying that, we're talking of all the stakeholders that are in place. We're talking of the ANSP, we're talking about the Civil Aviation Authority, we're talking about the airports. All those people need to be working together in making the system work, coming up with a system of reporting, having data available that we can use to improve whatever system is in place to ensure aviation safety. States and service providers have greater control over any related safety risks when interfaces are identified and managed. Interfaces are defined as part of the system description. It is important to note that all systems are composed of three basic elements, and I'm talking about people, processes, and technology. Benefits of the safety management. Well, I already mentioned in the previous slide some of these. Strengthening of the safety culture. An organization's safety culture can be strengthened by making visible the commitment of management and actively involving personnel in the management of safety risks. When management actively endorses safety as a priority, it is typically well received by the personnel and becomes part of the normal operations. It's part of the normal day-to-day doing that we're doing. Additionally, we need to have documented process-based approach to assure safety. Establish a clear and documented approach to achieving safe operations that is understandable by personnel and can be readily explained to others. In addition, clearly defining baseline performance allows control changes when continually improving the safety program and system, thereby helping the organization optimize resources required to implement the change. Better understanding of safety-related interfaces and relationships. This also applies to the process of documenting and designing safety management interfaces, which can benefit the organization's understanding of the inter-process relationships, leading to an enhanced understanding of the end-to-end process and exposing opportunities for increased efficiency. Enhanced early detection of safety hazards improves the states and service providers' ability to detect emergent safety issues, which can prevent accidents and incidents through the proactive identification of hazards and management of safety risks. As you all know, it's always much better to detect the issues early on and solve the issues prior to any accidents or incidents happening. So we're talking here about the proactive approach.
Televidente, sei tavata signora Scott Borg di dos parti di su promè presentazione, passò a tardi, intera tardi, stata in conferenza e attività aquí lo durante cuya viernes como parte di siman di seguridad y prevención. Un cosco no solamente meser tuma lugar de aviación, es meser tuma lugar de en cada área laboral, de en cada área profesional, pero también de hasta de en familia, nos meser actua con prevención y seguridad, safety. Para sobra, hopi biaha, nos tin riesgo na casa, falta de un man patene, ora bota bajo un trapi, cucina nan con nota bon estructurar, cosas con nota improvisar, ora con nota incuferf, quanto accidente en el último tiempo na nos atende, gente que acá fue un DAC, gente que acá fue un stelashi, gente que para sobra, que passa, nota usa armas, aparato nan que está ser diseñado para seguridad. Con nuestra bella cielo, para evitar un accidente, esa es parte de lo que es siman aquí, nos Curacao Airport Prtners ha diseñado en siman de seguridad y prevención. Será un placer. Nos espera de por una información súper interesante y tenemos próximo programa para nos topa y visa otro. Bonochi, Korsou.